All right, guys. Let me start off by introducing myself, and if you're watching this video, then it's probably too late. My name is Aaron Conrad. You're probably seeing this on my blog or on social media. I want to go around the horn here and introduce our panel. So I'll kick it to Coach first. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us where you're at and what you're up to these days.
Well, my name is Matthew Sauk. I was a former coach in the Arena Football League and player. Right now, I'm just running our businesses with my wife here in Utah. We've got 3 Beans and Brews, which is a local coffee shop here in Utah that are running at this point, and just dealing with my kids and sports and all that stuff. Oh yeah, and coaching my little kid at football as well.
Oh shit!
Awesome.
Busy.
All right, Sonie, what's up?
What's up, guys? I'm Varmah Sonie from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Just recently got done playing arena football, 2019. Still up in the air, right now, if I want to play still, but right now I'm got a training business that's in the works right now, and also working on a herbal store, that's coming. So we're getting things with that going and a website. So those are the things I'm working on right now, trying to give back to my community and help out the youth, so that's where I'm at right now.
You're getting that special herbal stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, it's a family show. Family show, guys.
My bad.
Are you in Minnesota now?
Yes, sir. I'm in Minnesota right now, so I'm at home.
All right. All right. Casey, what's up?
I'm having trouble with my internet. Can you hear me?
Oh my God! Of course he is.
We can hear you. We can see you a little bit. You look delayed, man.
That's that Cali.
Yeah, I got that Spectrum. Yeah. That Spectrum internet. Oh man. My name's Casey Obi. Played arena football in Columbus, Ohio for that egghead over there, Matthew Sauk. Right now,
you got to specify. There's 2 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I said
exactly.
Matthew Sauk. I said Matthew Sauk. Coach Sauk.
Yeah.
I'm working in physical therapy right now and living my life on Zoom, taking classes, getting ready to hopefully after this semester get into the doctorate program for physical therapy. So that's what I'm doing right now, living my life on Zoom, taking it day by day out here in Los Angeles, California. In between curling some weights still, chest, no legs.
Yeah, exactly.
No squats over here. So.
Well, I want to thank you guys again. I said this already once to you offline, but I want to thank you guys again for hopping on. Just wanted to maybe take a few minutes and be some kind of a voice in all the noise right now. I think we'd all agree that it is crazy. It's crazy what's happening. And you guys have always been real good to me. It goes back to our days at the Dome last summer. From me and Coach being there at 6 a.m. and he was working out. I was just working. So, but you guys just always treated me with so much respect, almost like I was a part of the team, and I appreciated that. And so I couldn't think of 3 better guys to get on today and just kind of talk about. Well, I think we'll start with just sports right now and what we're seeing, because it's amazing what we're seeing across the all the different teams, all the different sports, and what they're doing. So let's start there, and I'll take it to. I know that Sonie and I one time were messaging, and I don't remember. I was trying to remember today when that was. It might have been, man, when this all started in Minneapolis. Maybe I can't remember, but I remember I gave you that quote that said that, and I just completely forgot what the quote was. No.
Yeah, we talked much, and
That's right. Well, normally it's Duke, Carolina, but we'll get to that on another call. But no, it was it's that we all talk a different language talking in defense, and right now I think everybody's talking in defense, and we're not having conversations. So that's really kind of what I wanted to do with you guys, was that just have a conversation and where we're not talking in defense, but we're just talking. And hopefully somebody will find something in this that's valuable. So I know I will, because just being with you guys again, it's good to see your faces. And so let's start there. So with what's going on right now, what do you guys think from both a coaching perspective and a player's perspective about what you're seeing NFL isn't even on yet, but what we're seeing, let's just say, I think basketball has probably right now made the biggest splash. What's your perspective on that from both a coach and from players? What do you guys think about what's happening right now?
Well, I think it's great, man. Just showing unity from the NBA. You know, obviously the NBA, you know, it's always been like, you know, the spotlight. You know, where I feel like they have the most freedom and more in the most of the sports, professional sports. So I feel like they're definitely shedding light, and it's passing on to other professional sports. Like you see baseball doing it, soccer doing it. You know, so I'm just glad that they're showing unity, and they understand the cause and what's going on in America right now. You know, that's where I'm at with it. So I'm just proud of everybody stepping up and using their voice and their platinum and bringing awareness.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. How about you, Coach?
You know, to me, the nice thing about it is one is that we have sports. I mean, that's big. You know, it's like getting your kids back to school. I think it's really important. But to me, it's like, you know, early on when you'd have all those positive tests and, you know, guys weren't really taking it serious, and, you know, they just didn't really understand what it was going to take in order to be able to play. And I think now you see these leagues where, you know, you went from, let's say, baseball, where they started and they had like 2 teams that couldn't play. And all of a sudden it's like, wow, this is pretty serious. Like, we have to take it serious. I'm not going to comment on everything else with it, but, you know, it is what it is. Like, they have rules and regulations. And all of a sudden, you know, they've gone weeks now where they haven't had any issues. Basketball, you know, they started out a little bit rough, and then all of a sudden, I mean, how many weeks has it been? I think like maybe like 5, or I don't even know. It's been a while since they've had any issues with, you know, testing. Football has done absolutely, to me, amazing, because of the fact that you have, you know, 32 teams, 80 players on a roster. That's a lot of people that you have to test. First, you have to test, and 2, you have to, you know, make sure that you're doing the things right in order for you to not have those positive tests. So I just think that these, you know, they've done a great job. I wish that college football would come back, to be honest. I think that they can do it. I hope that they do it. I think that people need it. I think when you have nothing to do, I think you tend to get into more trouble, and you tend to do more things out in the community and whatnot. So to me, it's like, I think we should try to return to normal as much as possible. I know Utah's done it, but it's hard. I mean, I mean, you got a lot of people with a lot of built up feelings for the last, you know, however many years, and they're just trying to show their frustration. And the key to that is listening. And I'm not sure that we have people that are listening to what people are saying at this moment in time.
Right. Casey, how about you?
Just like what Sauk and Sonie said, it's good to have sports back and seeing all these sports unified together, and guys using their platforms, most importantly, because a couple of years ago, Kaepernick was just left on ice, and, you know, guys were kind of scared. They didn't know what to do. And it's just like good to even see sports that I didn't even consider them even supporting the movement, like the Black Lives Matter movement. NASCAR, I didn't know they went and showed out for that guy. I forgot his name, but they unified behind him. So it's just good to see all these sports coming together and everybody using their platform and not scared to use their voice for people who don't have a voice, you know? So it's good to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me ask you a question too. When you look at, I mean, yeah, Destroyer's is a little different. You guys, well, I guess you had a locker room at Nationwide. You didn't have one at the Dome, but let's just say, what's it like? What was the locker room like? And you guys have been on other teams as well. So what's the locker room like prior to what's happening now? And what do you think those locker rooms are like now? I think in the NBA we're seeing a lot of unity. Well, I mean, we saw it last week with the complete boycott, right? So you're seeing, and even if there's guys on teams that don't want to be part of it, you're on the team. And so it may be forcing conversation for those guys. But what were locker rooms like before, and what do you guys think they're like now? Do you think it's making a change, or do you think we were there before all this started to happen on the field and in the arenas?
For me, I'll say NBA is a little different from football locker room just because the size, you know what I mean? So I feel like NBA, you can get more people on the same page. You could talk to everybody, or which football, you know, you have a lot more guys. You got linemen stay friends with each other. You got DBs that stick together, receivers just stick together, you know, quarterbacks hang together. So I think it's different in that sense, but I want to say before, you know, it's all love. You know what I mean? Like that's what sports is for. You know, sports is to unify. I know you guys seen Remember the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's one of my favorite movies ever. You know, just watching that. You know, that's kind of what the football locker room is about. You know what I mean? A brotherhood. You know, and you know, I just think like even after everything's happening right now, you know, I think guys are coming together even more because you know, people are actually aware of what's happening around the world and what's going on, you know, even with the Black Lives Matter thing. So, you know, right now I haven't been in the locker room since 2019, but, you know, I can only believe that, you know, it's bringing more people together in the locker room and you're having more conversations. So I think that's helping out a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this about it. To me, I think that you finally have, and I'll just say it. I mean, white people understand like what people are going through. You know, as a coach, I had the insight. As a player, you don't really probably get it as much, but as a coach, you have the insight of like where a guy comes from. And you know, as a coach throughout the years, you know, when I'm recruiting, I always try to make sure I try to find out like who is this person, what's his background, you know, what happened to him. I've recruited guys that have gotten in trouble in college, and like, well, why did he get in trouble? Like, what did he do? How was his, you know, how did he grow up? And I just think the problem right now is the fact that many people, they just have these blinders on. They think that everyone has this perfect life, and everyone gets perfect grades. They all have money, and they all have this perfect home, and in reality, it's not that way. Like go to Florida, go to any inner city, and you have kids that white or black, Asian, whoever, that don't have two parents, that don't have money, that live on welfare, that struggle, that don't have any money to buy shoes. I mean, that's the thing that I think people are finally seeing and realizing, like, and I think that's why you see so many white people going to these protests, because I think they're finally like, this stuff matters. Like these people, all these people have struggled, and it's time that we try to make it better for them, make it better for them, make it easier. I don't know. I mean, that's to me, I don't know how to fix it. I just know that when I've talked to players and I see their background, like that crap is hard. Like I can't even imagine growing up like that. That'd be really tough.
Right.
Hey, one thing I can say about it is, you know, playing for Coach Sauk, man, is like, it's a whole, like, you play for different coaches and you see, you know, how certain coaches, you know, how they act around their players, you know what I mean, or how they communicate with their players. And I can just say, you know, Coach Sauk, man, he always been solid. You know, that's since 2020 or 2014, you know, when I first got with him. He always been solid, man, good heart, you know what I mean, doesn't look at the color of your skin, you know what I mean, none of that, man. So, like, he's always been solid, you know what I mean. And I know a lot of players can vouch for him, too, when I say that.
Yeah, I've been in many locker rooms, and playing under Coach Sock has always been a family environment. We can always clown and joke. He's always clowning my tank tops and
Yeah.
me doing curls every day. So it's always been a good environment. In terms of the conversations being brought up, that's what's happening now. Guys are starting to, the elephant in the room is being revealed, basically. Guys are starting to understand where these other guys are coming from, you know? So
I'll say a quick story. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll say a quick story. I think I was watching it with my wife, and there was this, I can't remember his name, but it was I think it was a black journalist and a KKK leader, and he did like some sort of interview with them, and they eventually became friends. Like he's completely opposite of him, but the thing that the KKK guy said is that he was a person that listened to me. Like, we had conversations, we got to know each other, and they were like best friends. They became best friends. He denounced the KKK, moved away from it. They're still best friends. But like, he was the type of person that is able to have a conversation with someone that does not agree with them. And to me, that's the biggest thing we're missing in today's world. It's a Twitter world. Everything's on Twitter, everyone's fighting. You can say whatever you want. And the issue is that you don't have those real conversations with someone standing in front of you, trying to see like, what is your point of view and what is mine? And maybe we can kind of combine a little bit.
True. True.
Let me ask you guys this. So, when I look at it, and you guys have mentioned it, everyone's intentions is there now. We're there. Our antennas are up. We're listening, and that's where I think, for me, I want to know what's next. And I think that's what they're trying to say too, is no matter which group is protesting or wants their voice to be heard, what's next? Where do we go from here? I think is where we have to start to evolve to, or otherwise we're just going to keep doing this. And I think it's going to have a negative effect over a long time. But so what if you had a microphone and a chance to tell people what you think of, where do we go from here? What's our next step? Because I think it has been heard, the cries and the frustration and the pain. I think most people have heard those cries, and we're all listening now. And like you said, Coach, I think we are having conversations. At least I hope we start to. Where do we take those conversations next? Like, what does that make sense? Is that a
right.
So? Yeah, I don't. Casey, you want to start, and then we'll take it around there, maybe.
I would say I feel like it starts the guy up top, and he's the one he has a dangerous rhetoric, and I feel like he's like fanning the flames in this little race war we got going on. So I feel like we should start in November and vote this guy out, and then work from there. That's what I feel like.
I have to agree with Casey. It starts with leadership. And when you see the world that we're living in today, and you look at the leader that's leading our nation, it's chaos right now. It's real chaos out here with race wars, COVID. He doesn't. It feels like he doesn't care. When he goes, does like an interview or the RNC. Just how he speaks, he doesn't care. So I feel like we just got to go vote in November, and that's just the beginning. We've been fighting this war for a long time, and stuff just getting recorded now. This has been going on for a while. It's getting recorded now, but I think it starts with the leadership up top, which is the president. And helping him, hopefully getting him out of there and getting somebody that has a heart. That
I don't even feel like. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't feel like he's even like listening. Like, he's just so quick to just point out like the looters and the riots going on, but he's not even addressing the issue. He's like quick to condemn the Black Lives Matter movement, saying they're causing ruckus.
Right.
But he's not listening to why they're out there protesting, why there's like why guys are looting. They feel like they're not getting heard. That's basically what it is. Understand, I don't believe in riots and looting and all that, but I understand where it's coming from. And this guy up top is not understanding. And he's just tweeting away, calling these people thugs and all that, denouncing them, but he's not denouncing the KKK or what's the guy who went and shot protesters the other day? Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah, he's not denouncing that. So it's just a mess. I just feel like it's a mess.
One more thing. Doc Rivers said too the other day, and he was just saying, like, when we go out, black people go out and they protest. They're called thugs, and then like Michigan, with the people with the guns in the yard, they're called fine people. That's what he's saying. That's what the president is saying. So it's contradicting. He's contradicting himself.
Yeah, it's crazy, and his supporters are going with that rhetoric, and now they're getting armed, and they're going in the streets, pointing guns at protesters, and it's just like we're in chaos right now, and it's sad. I've never seen the country like this at all. I know it's been underneath, for the last 4 years when Obama was there, but it's just gotten worse. Like it's escalated to a whole different level.
Yeah.
Literally, protesters are getting shot up. It's just sad, you know.
I mean, to me, it's just a lack of leadership, and it starts from your local people all the way up. I mean, that's the key. I mean, the biggest thing for me is you know, if someone has a problem, you need to figure out what the problem is. And if no one is willing to have that conversation and sit down, then, you know, they're going to constantly feel like they're not being heard. But the other issue is that the people doing the protesting need to have a plan of like what needs to be fixed. Like that's what I'm saying. You got to have the conversation. Like what needs to be fixed. It can't be a million things. Like it's not really like what can we do that is going to help you feel like you are heard. And we have not had that conversation yet. Like you said, it starts with your local people, your mayor, governor, all the way up to your president. I mean, that's just the way it is. And if no one is doing that, then people are going to continue to feel anger and feel like they're not being heard. And it's like a constant cycle. And then you have people, the biggest thing that is really going on is you have protesters and you have rioters. The protesters are the people that, to me, it's okay. The rioters, you know, to me, that's just not something we should be doing. But now you've got armed people going into an already tense situation, and you have a governor that is not strong enough to get the presence there to calm everyone down. And it's just like, you know, like you said, that kid killed, you know, I don't know if he allegedly killed 2 people. And then you had the other night where someone shot someone else. And it's like, you bring guns to a situation, you're going to have problems. Right. And to me, like I said, I don't know the answers. I just know that we have not had the conversation that we need to have in order to fix the problem.
Yeah, I agree. And I think there's so many factors involved. It's not just one thing. Like it's not just one group that's at a gathering, whether it's a riot or protester, looter, Antifa, you know, there's pallets of bricks being dropped off, and there's all kind. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on that's not one thing. Where I think if we had the one thing, then we could understand. Okay, let's. But there's so many different spinning plates right now that it's hard to identify which one we should grab before it falls first. All of it's bad. I mean, it's all bad.
Well, and again, you have not only just that, like the leaders not being leaders, is you have news organizations on the left and the right that are just constantly stroking the flame.
Yeah.
And it's constant. Like one side says, oh, they're peaceful. One side is like, they're rioters and blah, blah, blah. And it's just constant stuff that is so far left and so far right that there's no middle ground anymore. Right. There isn't. Like, you know, I don't know, like 20 years ago, there was a middle ground. There was people in the middle that could kind of bring in that left and that right and kind of have a conversation. And we don't have that. We have, you either love Trump or you hate Trump. There is no in between. You either love Biden or you hate Biden. Like he's a socialist. He's this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, there's no in between people anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of, I mean, that to me, that's another thing where you don't have leaders that are doing what they're supposed to do. And you have people that their ideology is so far left and so far right that there's no middle ground anymore.
Right.
There's no logical.
Everyone thinks they're right.
There's no logical thinking. I just feel like there's like 2 gangs going on right now. It's just, it's crazy.
That's the power of social media for you right there.
Yeah.
Social media.
Everybody's voice now, you know, it's crazy.
And people are not getting the right information. They're watching YouTube and getting their information from Facebook.
And you have other countries using bots to influence what is being produced on social media, what's, you know, trending. So, right. I mean, it's as great as social media has been, it's literally been probably the worst thing that's ever happened to this country, or to the world, I should say.
Especially for our kids, and that's a whole nother Zoom call for another day. But especially as a dad of high school, you know. But well, I don't want us to run out of time. I could literally do this all night. I don't know about you guys. We haven't even got into 90s basketball yet.
which was the best basketball.
But I'll probably catch up with all of you on Twitter watching Game 7 here in a few minutes when we log off. But no, I want to before we check out, I want to give you all that platform. 3 guys I just ultimately respect so much, and again, thank you so much for being on here with me. I don't know if we'll have 5 people, 1 person, nobody. Maybe this thing will go viral. I have no idea, but we'll put it out there. And so, knowing that, let me hand you the microphone. And if there's one thing you could tell anybody that would see this, go ahead. And the floor is yours. And again, this is coming from 3 guys that I respect, a whole lot, and why I started with you guys on these calls. So, Coach, I'll start with you. The microphone is yours. Mamba out.
Yeah. Well, again, I appreciate you having me on. To me, like I said, the biggest thing I think we need going forward is the fact that we need to listen. There are people with problems, and they're not people that grew up like you. Everyone's different. Everyone's an individual. Everyone grew up differently. People had their friends shot. Other people, they grew up in mansions. You got to be able to listen, and you got to be able to understand what that other person is going through. And also, do me a favor, when it comes time to vote, don't just vote for someone because there's an R behind their name, or there's a D behind their name, or there's an I. Vote for someone that has your values. Like, do the research. Don't just mark R or D all the way down the ballot. Do the research. Figure out who that person is before you sit there and vote for that person.
Thank you, Coach. V, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go. Thank you, Aaron, for having us on, man. You a good dude. You already know how we get in on Twitter wars. Duke in Carolina, but I just want to appreciate you for having us. But I'll leave with this, you can't drive hate out with hate. You gotta drive it out with love. You know what I mean? And I have white friends. I grew up with white friends. I have black friends. You know what I mean? I don't have no hate in my heart towards anybody, but there comes a time and a place where wrong is wrong. You know what I mean? And you gotta stand up for what's right. And just go out there, vote. You know what I mean? Like Coach Sauk said, just don't vote for Democrat or Republican. You know what I mean? Actually do the research. You know what I mean? And know who you're voting for, from the courthouses to the mayor to the governor to all that. You know what I mean? Do the research. And another thing, we gotta start stop putting professional sports, holding these professional sport athletes to a higher level than people that really should be held accountable, like police officers. You know what I mean? I think they need to go through just as much as training as athletes do, just to get in the police, you know what I mean? Just to get in there. But we'll say that for another day, and I just go out there and vote and do your research. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you.
I would like to thank you, Aaron, for having me on and everything you've done for me out in Columbus. You really took care of me out there. I was lifting the weights and stuff like that. What I'd like to say is everyone just try and listen to each other, Just try and go with an open mind and just try and listen. Don't just stay behind your rhetoric, and just try and learn from one another. And violence doesn't solve violence. We got to, like Varmah said, we got to go out with love and appreciate one another. Take this time, especially in COVID, to just focus on other aspects of life and better yourself. And in terms of athletes, I'm just tired of hearing, I see it on Twitter all the time and stuff like that, like telling them to stick to sports. Like, you guys got to stop that. Athletes are humans too. No one says anything when you criticize them for dropping a pass or whatever, when your criteria, your qualifications was Pee Wee football. You didn't even play in high school, So, just let them talk, let them use their platform, understand where they're coming from again, So that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
It's kind of frustrating seeing stuff like that, But
And just understand this. We all started the same color when we were brought onto this earth. The only thing that changed is we moved into different regions with less light. That's the reason why the pigment of our skin changed. So just
hey, dropping a little gem on us, huh?
Yeah.
You've been saving that the whole time.
Yeah.
All right,
we were all dark at one point.
Before we get out of here,
I mean, I look pretty good, but yeah.
Before we get out of here, since I got you guys on, I need to fact check something. Coach, you said we got to fact check. So
Yeah.
I was told that because we had summer camp and we had, moms and dads dropping off and we had little kids running around the building, and you guys had music and language because you were a football team. Is it true that there was a code word that was yelled out that was immediately would change the music and everybody would tighten up the language? Because I know what the code word was.
I don't remember that. I just know that it always happened when Kareem put on his music. Every time.
In the weight room.
Yeah.
But no,
Real
anybody know what that code word was?
Man, I don't remember.
I don't. Please tell me.
I know. I know we were talking race in America today, but it was White Boy Wednesday, from what I heard.
I remember that.
Is that true?
I remember that.
False.
Yeah, we gave him one.
You always got to do White Boy Wednesday.
All right, there you go.
Every other week.
So I heard that was the code word, and the music and the language immediately changed. But I appreciate that because we didn't get any complaints from any.
Yes.
But, man, guys, thanks so much. Thanks for how you've always treated me with kindness, and I appreciate that. I don't believe that any of us have looked at each other any different way than just human beings, and for that I appreciate it. I appreciate you being on tonight. Like I said, we'll probably be messaging later over Game 7.
You already know.
All right, who you got before we get off? Who you got? Houston or OKC?
Man. Probably Houston. I don't want to go against CP3 though.
Houston chokes every time.
Hey man, Westbrook had a bad game last game, so he might have a better game this game.
I want OKC to win. Whoever's easier for my Lakers to
all right, it's time to get up. Time to get off.
Stop it.
All right, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thanks for being on, man. Take care.
See you guys.
All right, guys.
All right.